Hi, Senator. My name is Nardos, and I came from the University of Virginia to ask you this question. You recently developed a platform on price gouging and the greed of the pharmaceutical companies that are killing people around the world by making medicines really impossible to access. Through the use of generics and the increased funding, we can achieve an AIDS-free generation. Senator Clinton has already committed.
I'm sorry, can you please repeat that?
Senator Clinton has already committed to this goal, and in Boston, you told one of my friends you would try as well. We know now that achieving an AIDS-free generation is possible. If you become president, will you commit to doubling the number of people on life-saving treatment for HIV and AIDS to 30 million people by 2020?
Thank you for the question. Excellent question. The answer is yes. But let me tell you something else. So I've been involved in this issue for a while. When you talk about powerful lobbies in Washington, you're talking about Wall Street that spent $5 billion over a 10-year period to deregulate Wall Street, which got us into the great financial crisis of 2008. You are talking about the military-industrial complex, which fights for weapons systems that we do not necessarily need. And you are talking about the pharmaceutical industry, which charges us the highest prices in the world for prescription drugs. A story. In the late 1990s, when I represented Vermont in the House, I was the first member of Congress to take many people in my state across the Canadian border into Montreal. You know why we did that? Montreal is a pretty city, but that wasn't the reason we went. These were women who were struggling with breast cancer. Working class women didn't have a lot of money, struggling with breast cancer. And you know what they found when we went to Montreal? We had planned this all out. They were able to buy the same exact medicine they were purchasing in Vermont and in America for 1/10 of the price. Got that? 10% for life-saving breast cancer medicine. And what we see recently is not only are the prices in this country so high that 1 out of 5 Americans who gets a prescription from a doctor, that person can't even afford to fill the prescription. So what I have done and will do is take on the pharmaceutical industry. Now, from a moral perspective, consider this. You have today not just AIDS. AIDS is important. You have cancer doctors writing letters to the government now saying, I have cancer patients who can't afford the medicine I am prescribing. And without that medicine, they're going to get sick and maybe die. What moral sense does it make when you have drug companies making huge profits from people who can't afford the medicine they need to save their lives? And as you may know, in terms of AIDS, this is an old story. You have the pharmaceutical industry fighting against generic companies who can produce these medicines for pennies a pill and say, I don't want you to do it. In fact, this Trans-Pacific Partnership, you're familiar with that? The drug companies were actively involved in it in trying to make sure that poor countries could not convert to generics and force their poor people to pay prices for medicine they couldn't afford. So you are looking, trust me, at a member of the United States Senate that is one of the least favorite people of the pharmaceutical industry.